Welcome to the Explainer. So you're staring down the grade 12 physics exam, and yeah, you're probably feeling the pressure. Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today we're going to turn that challenge into a clear, actionable strategy for success. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so for so many of us, that final grade 12 physics exam feels like this massive mountain to climb, you know? It's kind of like the final boss of your high school science journey, pulling together everything you've learned into one very high-stakes moment. And the pressure, it can feel absolutely overwhelming. But what if I told you that conquering this thing isn't just about memorizing every single concept? What if real success also comes from mastering the art of the exam itself? So, first things first, we need to understand the battlefield, right? To win, you've got to map out the territory. We're going to break down all the core topics you absolutely have to nail down. And believe me, the scope is huge. I mean, we're talking about everything from mechanics and thermodynamics to waves, electromagnetism, all the way to atomic and nuclear physics. It's really a journey, from the simple motion of a thrown ball to the very forces holding the entire universe together. It's a lot, for sure, but it's all connected. You're going to dive deep into these really fundamental principles, like electromagnetic induction. And this isn't just some abstract idea, it's basically the magic behind how we generate almost all of our electricity. It's the core idea that a changing magnetic field can actually create an electric current. This is what makes generators and transformers work. It's a huge deal.
And then we zoom way in to the incredibly small. You'll get to explore the atomic nucleus. You know, thanks to those brilliant experiments where scientists literally shot tiny particles at gold foil, we learned that pretty much all of an atom's mass is packed into this unbelievably tiny, dense center. And that one discovery, it completely changed how we understand matter itself.
Okay, so once you've got the concepts mapped out, you need the right tools to actually solve the problems. And in physics, your main tools are, of course, the formulas. You should think of them as the language we use to describe how the universe works.
Now please, don't just think of formulas as a bunch of random letters you have to memorize. Think of them like keys. This one right here, Faraday's law of induction, is a master key. It connects the change in a magnetic field over time to the voltage it creates. It's literally the key that unlocks the math behind how a generator actually works. And it's not just for electromagnetism, of course. Every single major topic has its own set of essential keys. You can see right here the formula to figure out the range of a projectile. You've got Ohm's law for electricity. And yeah, of course, Einstein's iconic E equals delta mc squared, which reveals that insane amount of energy that's locked within even a tiny bit of mass.
All right, so you've got the concepts, you've got the formulas, but here's the pivot. This is the secret weapon that can separate a pretty good score from a really great one. And it goes beyond just pure physics knowledge.
And don't just take my word for it. This quote comes straight from experienced examiners, the people who actually grade these things. And they see it year after year. Students lose a surprising number of marks, not because they don't know the physics, but because of simple, frustratingly avoidable mistakes.
So here's the crucial point. Let's shift our focus to strategy. We're about to go on a hunt for all those easy marks you might be accidentally leaving on the table. This is all about mastering your exam technique. First up, matching your answer to the marks. Seriously, don't write a novel for a little 2-mark question. The graders are looking for specific points, so just hit them and move on to save precious time. But on the flip side, for a question that asks for more depth, a single sentence is just not going to cut it. You have to elaborate to show you really get the concept. Oh, and this one is a classic pitfall. A diagram without any labels? It's just a drawing. But a diagram with clear, neat labels? That's a complete answer. You have to label every single part. It is one of the easiest ways to lock in marks you've pretty much already earned. Ah, the parallel resistor trap. This one gets so many people. You've probably used this formula 100 times, but when the exam pressure hits, it's so easy to just forget that tiny 1 over part. Writing R total instead of 1 over R total makes the entire calculation wrong. All that work for 0 marks on the final answer. So double-check the formulas you think you know best. So what's up with this half? Well, it's a reminder. For those 1-mark questions that ask for a simple yes or no, half the mark is usually for getting it right, but the other half is for your reasoning. So never ever just write yes. Always follow it up with because. It's a simple habit that guarantees you get the full point every time. All right, so here it is, your pre-submission checklist. Before you even think about handing in that paper, run through these steps.
Are your question numbers correct? Did you actually write down the formula before you plugged in the numbers? You can get partial credit just for that. Did you answer all the little A, B, and C subparts? And if you messed up, did you clearly cross out the old answer so the grader knows exactly which one to mark?
So let's bring it all together. The big takeaway is this. Marks aren't just gained in what you know, but in how you prove that you know it. Mastering the physics, that's half the battle. The other half is mastering the exam itself, proving your knowledge clearly and strategically, right when it counts. So when you combine that deep knowledge with smart exam strategy, you don't just avoid silly mistakes. You actively build a score that really shows what you're capable of. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking at your own study habits, what's one strategic change you can make starting today?